from the Irish Focusing Network Poetry Corner. My name is Therese and I'm delighted to share with you a poem which was written by my friend Eibhlín Nic Eochaidh. So I'm going to take some time to invite you to come inside, and then I'll read the poem, and then I'll take some time to focus with the poem. So feeling your feet on the floor and having a sense of the connection your feet make with the floor and with the earth beneath the floor. Bringing your awareness up your legs and sensing the support of your chair beneath your legs, and really allowing yourself to rest into the support of the chair and the support of the floor and the support of the earth beneath all that. And just noticing where your hands are resting. Maybe noticing the contact they're making, maybe with your legs or with each other. Relaxing your shoulders, allowing your throat to be soft and your eyes to be soft, softening all the skin on your face. And beginning to notice your breath. Maybe on the outside of your body first, the movement in the chest or your belly. And then beginning to bring our attention inside. Becoming aware of ourselves from the inside. And I invite you to keep your attention inside, noticing how your body responds to the words of the poem. Aiseiri by Eibhlín Nic Eochaidh. Red hair, damp and limp. First leaves, crinkled silk, unfold like wings on sticks of the one Japanese maple in our garden. Confined to a pot, imprisoned for its own protection. Living inside the shelter where two walls meet. Ignored each winter, a miracle in spring. And now I'm going to read the poem again. Aiseiri. Red hair, damp and limp. First leaves, crinkled silk, unfold like wings on sticks of the one Japanese maple in our garden. Confined to a pot, imprisoned for its own protection. Living inside the shelter where two walls meet. Ignored each winter, a miracle in spring. So I'm just going to take some time to come inside And notice what resonates with me from this poem. So what I'm noticing is a tenderness in my heart area. And that tenderness seems a response to the beginning of the poem. The red hair, damp and limp. The first leaves, crinkled silk and unfolding, and something about the fragility of that image, the very beginning of new life, and how human the image is. So something about that red hair, damp and limp, really touches me. So there's a real connection I feel with how delicate new life is. And as I stay with that tenderness in my heart, it feels like it's swelling slightly or growing. Yeah, so just like the leaves start to grow, something growing inside me in response to those words, and something longing to grow and longing to come into the world. And there's a real the word is wanting. There's a real vulnerability to that. Vulnerability to that part that wants to come into the world yet feels fragile. So I'm really acknowledging that part, and feels like I'm holding it very tenderly and very carefully, as you would something that is very delicate. And doing that really gives it permission to somehow come more into being. So as I'm holding it, it's getting stronger. And that really connects me then to the second part of the poem. It feels such a contrast to the first part, which wants to grow and unfold like wings. So in the second part, I notice in myself something that rejects the confined and imprisoned for its own protection. And yet a part of me that recognizes those words too. And when I move to the image of the shelter where two walls meet, there's something caring about that, and it reminds me of my two hands holding this vulnerable, fragile part. And something comes there for me about the needing to hold very carefully or protect those vulnerable parts. Yeah, so I have that image of my hands surrounding something very fragile, holding it so that it can get stronger and grow and come into the world. And really noticing a response in my heart to that, like a really resonating with that image and part that's longing and the part that's holding and protecting. So the image that comes now is of the little green shoots on the IFN website, of how delicate they are and yet how determined they are and how they know just how to be. Within them is contained everything they need in order to flourish and grow. So that brings a real filling up inside me, a real sense of hopefulness. And a sense too of the parts in me that I have ignored and sometimes all they need is to be held. And in their own time, they know then how to come forth. It really brings for me an appreciation of focusing, of the process as a way of holding the parts of us that aren't maybe ready yet to come out into the world, that need to be protected and sheltered. And how our body can hold those until they're ready. And that seems to me the word miracle of focusing. Surprise of the new, fresh emerging. And how the potential for that was within us all the time. So there's a real sense of rightness around all that in me. And just acknowledging then the title of the poem, Aiseírí, Resurrection. And for me, that resurrection, it feels not in relation to something dead and come back to life, but something waiting. So waiting to be tended to and being sheltered and protected with the knowing that exactly what's right is happening. So I'm just going to take a moment to check all that inside and see where I am now. Yeah, so the image that comes is of something blooming, growing outward from me into the world. And of me really giving that space and supporting it, supporting that growth from wherever it emerges. And a deep sense of gratitude in my heart for focusing that allows me to be with myself in this way. So I invite you now to take time to listen again to the poem Aiseiri by Eibhlín Nic Eochaidh, and to come into your body and see what comes for you. Thank you very much for listening today.